Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to the second episode of Wandering Sun. And yeah, as you could see clearly, I have gotten my hair re-dyed. I mentioned I was going to be getting this done today, and it's the reason why the live stream has to be moved to tomorrow. And yeah, I just got back. As you can see, no more darkness, all blonde. And my godmother even styled it for me, trimmed it down a little bit. As you can see, it is a little shorter than it used to be. At least it is when styled like this. But yeah, so blonde is back. Still probably gonna mess with it a little because I tend to do that. But yeah, let's talk about Wandering Sun. So the first episode was really good. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the realism of it and the relatability of the characters and the struggles they're going through. I like how it hammered in the idea that there's both sides to, one, being trans, and two, both sides to either being supported or not. We see that the trans boy, and I don't remember their names, I do apologize for that, but the trans boy, he has this friend who he meets with who got him a male school uniform and is super supportive. But our trans girl is not so much. She has to pretend to be a guy around family and friends, and her sister, like, is really not going along with it. And the only time she ever did, it seems, was when she was modeling. Our main character was modeling, and her sister went along with it just kind of because, oh, you're cute enough to work great as a model and shit like that. And it's just like, once that was over, it's like, oh no, you can't wear this kind of stuff anymore. And I mean, to be fair, the dress that she was trying on was her sister's, and she really didn't have a right to put that on. But still, the way her sister acted was a little too much. But either way, I like how it shows this kind of raw, rough emotion to these characters and what they're going through. And I think that's going to be the real draw of this anime. The emotion of it, the realism, and how it connects to people like me. Just going out in the world and trying to be our true selves while everyone else looks at us otherwise. I mean, people still look at me and still call me a guy. Even when I'm dressing otherwise. And it hurts. But I have to keep going. I have to keep trying, and I have to keep being me. Otherwise, it's going to keep being like that, and it's going to get worse and worse. So yeah, I just really like how this series is showing how just of an emotional roller coaster this kind of journey can be. But yeah, we should get into this because it's already quite late. I wish I could have gotten to this sooner, but with having to get picked up by my godmother to do all of this with the hair at such an early time, it just didn't really have the opportunity. So when the screen fades to black, let's pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So another good episode of Wandering Sun here. This one definitely focused more on relationships. Well, the first one focused on the characters and just who they are and what kind of, like, people they are and want to become. This one more focused on their relationships with each other. We got a little bit of how, I'm going to try to remember these names, Nitori, who's our trans girl, she has a crush on Takatsuki. They used to be together, they kind of broke apart for a little bit, and since then they have made up. And now we're starting to see that Nitori is falling for him again. And I like that. It's cute, it's cool, and we're seeing why. It's not just like, oh, they're cute. No, there's actual like reason because of personality and action and whatnot. And that's the kind of things that you should be looking for when it comes to love. Because I've talked about it before, love at first sight does not exist. Love at first sight is completely impossible. Because the idea hinges on, well, it hinges on the idea that you can fall in love just based on seeing someone, and that's not how love works. Love comes from understanding someone. It comes from knowing them. And obviously you can't know someone the instant you see them. You cannot love someone if you do not spend time with them. Love takes time, it takes effort, it takes experience, it takes knowledge, and getting to be around someone. And again, that cannot happen the instant you see someone. So I like that we're getting precedence behind Nitori's feelings for Takatsuki. Because she's seen how cool and nice and caring of a person Takatsuki is, and that's what endears him to her. And like I said, that's good, because there is precedence for this romantic interest. A lot of these shows don't give enough of that. So it's good to see here. We also see Saurine. Saurine is, she's kind of got this feud going on with her old friends. And it really stems from the fact that she liked Nitori. She liked Nitori and confessed to her, but Nitori turned her down because Nitori likes Takatsuki. And so it caused a bit of a feud between her and Takatsuki, where she kind of was playing the victim and basically trying to pin it all on Takatsuki as if that was Takatsuki's fault. But Takatsuki finally came out to her about it. He finally just let loose and told her what he was feeling regarding it all. And then he decided to apologize for it after talking to his friends. And he just told her straight up, you know, these girls who you kind of snubbed, the girls who are upset at you and everything, the sophomores, I want to say? Or maybe they're juniors, I don't know. Either way. Maybe they just said third years. Maybe it was third years. Either way, these older girls, they're going to come after you. So you're not allowed. I don't want you walking home alone. It's not safe. I'm going to walk home with you. And then all the other friends come along and it's like, oh, let us join in. We're going to all walk home together as friends. And I like how in the end, she's like, Saurine is like, I don't deserve to be here. And you think she's going to like say, oh, because of like the way she was acting and all, which would be more understandable. But then she goes like, oh no, it's because I snubbed these girls. It was my fault. And she starts losing her shit, and I love it. She is adorable. I'll get to her in a moment, but it's funny though, because it's like the reason she doesn't believe she belongs there is not because of the way she was acting, but because she believes that she should be targeted by those girls because she was the one to snub them. She did ignore them when they said hello. And, I mean, obviously I don't think those girls would do anything, like, too bad to her in the first place, but still. It's kind of like, it's just that, like, not misconception. It's just the fact that the reason she's saying that is so far off what anybody else would be thinking from her, that it's actually kind of comical. And they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna be here for you. We're gonna support you no matter what. We're your friends. And it's I just really like that concept, how friendship there can be fights, there can be arguments, there can even be time spent away from each other. But in the end, if your friendship is true, that's going to win out. I like that. It's kind of a little bit of a moral standpoint to this episode. But let's talk about Chi. So Chi was featured in the first episode. Takatsuki briefly talked to her. Chi cross-dressed in the first episode. She wore a boy's school uniform. And others were seeing it as weird, but Takatsuki saw it as kind of inspiring. Because, I mean, being who he is and everything, he wants to be there. And he even got a school uniform from his other friends, so it's like, he wants to be able to have the confidence to do that himself. And he sees this other girl doing so, and it's like, that's awesome to him. And now, the next day, which is in this episode, I believe it was Souring, actually, called her out on it. But instead of getting angry or even getting emotional about it, Chi's response is like, oh, I'm a good fighter, I'm gonna beat you up. I can take it. She's just so adorably, weird. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a very good way. It's just like with the Maud couple episode. Even though I'm not a fan of that episode, in the episode, Starlight calls Maud weird. Pinky gets offended for Maud at first until Starlight explains, like, no, that's a good thing. I like that she's weird. And it's like, it's the same thing here. I like these characters who are weird and unique and different, but passionate about who they are. Unapologetic about who they are. That's how people should be. Doesn't matter if other people see you as weird. Doesn't matter if you're a little bit eccentric and strange or unique or whatever. Own that. Live up to that. That's awesome. I love seeing characters like this. It's just really cool. And she's a very early favorite for me. Probably her and Nitori would be my, well, okay. If I'm going to say top three, her, Nitori, and Takatsuki are my three favorites. And I know it's kind of like, oh, Nitori and Takatsuki, they're the main characters. It's kind of generic to say they're your favorites, but, I mean, it's 2 episodes in. We don't have a lot about the other characters yet, so, oh well. There's also a little bit with Nitori's sister in this. We saw how she's kind of, like, holding herself back from Nitori, trying to, like, almost see Nitori as this weird, unapproachable type of kid, even to the point where she's, like, trying to, like, oh no, I'm gonna take a bath before Nitori because I don't want to get into that bathtub after. That's kind of how it came across as. But then in the school, one of the other students says to her, oh, you know, Nitori's really cute and everything. And she's like, yeah. She's like, shut up, I know. And it's like, it's almost like she's kind of defending him. Like the other one was, it almost felt like it was meant to be like the other one was saying that Nitori's cute as kind of more of an insult. But she's like, shut up. I know Nitori's cute. And almost like she's defending her sister. And it's cute, it's nice. I think she does care about Nitori, but I think she's just having a hard time adjusting to this. And it's understandable, it's realistic, there are people like that. People who want to be supportive, but just have a hard time adjusting to this because it's so different than everything they know. So it's just like, and even with these first 2 episodes, nothing has been explicitly stated. Our characters haven't even, like, fully come out yet. We know Nitori is a trans girl, and we know Takatsuki's a trans boy. But they haven't, like, explicitly come out. Nothing's been explicitly stated. They're still pretending to be a boy for Nitori and a girl for Takatsuki. They're still pretending. But it's like, it's still just really well done in its execution here. Either way, yeah, I really enjoyed this. I'm so glad you guys voted for this. To be honest, when I saw that this was winning the poll initially, I was actually a little, admittedly, disappointed. Not because I didn't want to see it. As I mentioned before, I wanted to see everything on the list, but I honestly wanted to get to other shows that were on the poll first. But I'm just being proven wrong here. I'm being proven that this is what I needed to see. Because again, being a trans girl myself, it's like, this is kind of an important series, and to see them handling it so right, that the creator clearly understands these struggles and clearly knows how to portray them through these characters, is phenomenal. And it's something I feel like at this step of my journey, just over a year in, it's something I needed to see. So yeah, thank you all for voting on this. But either way, tell me your comments on the second episode of Wandering Sun down in the comments section below, and thank you so much for tuning in. We'll get to episode 3 next week per usual, and for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
And though you've come through many obstacles,